Bill Henshaw here again, and I've got kind of a news flash for you that just occurred the day these tapes were made from Colorado, where I have some friends out there who have a lot on the ball to start with, which is a good thing, and they have a lot of the same character, emotion, and passion that I do, and I hope that comes through in the tape. That's exactly the way I feel about what I do. I know it's right, I know it needs to be done, and I know I'm one of the ones that can do it. Well, these people have been involved in some traffic cases out there, and they started out, October, I think, and they went before this a judge, and my friend stands up, 5'2", 120 pounds, and invokes rights, secured by the Constitution, as I've instructed him to do and as they've learned to do. And the judge gets very angry at her, threatens her with contempt of court. Later in the hearing, threatens her with jail for continuing to ask questions, and at the end has her surrounded by 5 armed thugs, aka cops, and they all followed her and her husband back out to the parking lot where their conveyance was too. Now this got so bad, they never, as far as I know, made any formal complaint about this, but somebody interior to the system did. This was so bad. I mean, my goodness, do something like that, and someone's just trying to, invoke their rights and stay out of jail, like they're, and there's no charges, there's no nothing. What's wrong with that? Well, what's wrong with it is the judge, quote unquote, understands that you understand and know that there's no jurisdiction there and can prove it. And that makes him personally liable, as he will be before all the events in Colorado are over. So what they try to do, and be ready for this when you go into these courtrooms, especially when you're new at it and still finding a way a bit, is they try to threaten you and use intimidation. Now, it didn't work with my friends in Colorado. It sure as hell didn't work with me in South Carolina. And in fact, it went the other way there. Geez, I wish I had tape. You could see the tapes of that. One tape is worth, $1 million, because I shut them down in the first 30 seconds. Anyway, my friends have done a remarkably good job. And the last 2 hearings, I had a hearing about 10 days ago, and I kiddingly asked her whether they surrounded her with thugs again. And she responded, no, they were much more respectful. They played more or less by the book, although a lot of stuff got summarily denied. But there was a lot more respect for her there than there had been. The same thing happened with today's quote-unquote pretrial hearing, at which the jury instructions should have been discussed, and they just had filed my entire packet of, at the moment, 570 jury instructions. And I heard back that the clerk of court was stunned at first, and she broke into a wide grin. She'd never seen anything like that before. And this is a clerk that handles rape cases, murder cases, you name it. Maybe you've seen 30 or 40 or 50 jury instructions, but not this many, and this is a traffic case. This is what you can do in your own case, too. Well, they get to the hearing today, quote unquote, and they ask about that, as they properly should, or pre-trial conferences where you discuss things like this and the instructions and which instructions are ruled admissible and which aren't. And the judge, quote unquote, in my view, doesn't have any authority to make determinations of that type unless the jury instructions are challenged by the local dumbass. If there's no challenge, the judge, as a neutral fact finder, has to presume that they're all valid, and especially where they don't oppose the 5 basic documents you get in my constitutional defense document packets. In 4 decades, I've never had those opposed, and they all raise structural jurisdictional errors that can't be opposed. That makes us right from the beginning, and you get to the jury instructions. Now the judge denies so much as one of those. That can be and often is reversible error, because you've not been allowed to put a defense on. This is the sort of power that we have in the system once you understand how it works. So we don't know, and I can't imagine the judge is going to deny 572 at the stroke of a pen. As I said to my friends, who the hell do you think he is, Donald Trump? Damn. And they had, get this, and all the decades I've been in this, you think you can never see something new. I should know better. Tomorrow, my friend has not 1, but 2 jury trials scheduled in the same day. Now, if the jury trial, especially in my case, had it been in South Carolina, it would have taken probably a week to have selected a jury there if we could get one done at all. How in the world are you going to have 2 of those in one day? And what they did was they took one case away from another judge that she got a subsequent ticket and combined it with this one with no known written authority to be able to do that. There just isn't any. I can't imagine that. And, number two, you can't have two jury trials in one day. What they're saying is one of two things. Either one, we have the full power and authority to not only convict you with a directed verdict of guilt, but we can do it twice in one day. Or they know in advance, as I suggested to my friends, that both cops are conveniently not going to appear tomorrow and all of the charges will be dismissed. In a way, that's even better. But it all comes back to bite them in the ass in a subsequent offensive suit. How are they going to explain all this to a jury, especially if I go out there as an expert witness and or a private attorney general and cross-examine them in front of an inflamed jury without being muzzled by a state bar association licensed attorney? That's the leverage we have, and that's what I can do for you down the road. My protocols for offensive actions here are gaining speed here. I've got several of them out right now in various stages. I'll report back when we get results from it. And right now you can get more information on all of this about my constitutional defense document packets and bonus information that I will send you along. Send me an email at youwinincourt@gmail.com. And I will get right back to you with all that information, about getting my documents and learning what I'm telling you about now. And a lot of this probably seems crazy at first blush, but when you see it in black and white, I have the goods. 4 decades I've done this, and I've got them dead bang, even in their own corrupt system. So this is a really nice update from Colorado. We'll have another one the next time, and hopefully my friends can do a video out there and send it to me by email. And we can put it on with the next, and you'll see from their point of view what happened. They have much more personal knowledge about these events than I do. But this is the sort of change in status you can get. Now instead of going from a sorrowful, pitiful victim, and you go to court, and you sit there, and the judge says, how do you plead? And I've seen people out there, hold on, I won't do it again, please don't. I will, everything you want, Master, I won't do it. Now you go in there and say, wait just a damn minute. You got no jurisdiction and venue here. And by the way, my friend at the most recent hearing cut this judge off 2 or 3 times in mid-sentence and said, wait a minute, that's not right. Have you ever even thought about doing something like that? But when you get that leverage and you get that power, you know that you can. That's the best feeling of all. Now, this Colorado news update exactly illustrates why I changed my YouTube channel to Win in Court. Because not only, I can help you to do that more often than not in traffic court, but what we do is with my protocols, we set them up with an unopposed record that we later use in an offensive action to shut them down. Now they can't make any opposition. They haven't followed their oath of office, and the ball game is over. So that said, I want to remind you, to like my videos, and feel free to subscribe to me and tell your friends about this. Tell them they want to listen to this, all of this very interesting news I have. We're going to have more probably in another 3 weeks. I'll update everything that you've heard here. Okay, thank you.